Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Well, I'm at my workbench today working on a kit and a video, and a bunch of new stuff just showed up today. So I thought I would take a few minutes from that and show you guys all this new stuff. First of all, there are 4 new kits from Takom, including the Panzer I in 16 scale. I know the Panzer I sold out very, very quickly, and it's very exciting to get a hold of. These are some great looking kits. There's also the new Merkava Mark II, as well as some 72nd scale stuff. Plus, we've got some exciting news from Werk, which I'll talk about in the video itself. Then I wanted to just take a quick second and show you about Copper State models. They make a wide variety of World War I products, including resin figures, World War I airplanes, as well as some 35th scale armored cars. So before we get looking on the inside of the stuff, I need you guys to do me a favor again. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button down below. If you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you'll never miss out on any new videos. And also, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Which kit are you really excited about building up here? There's a couple of them here that I'm kind of leaning towards. I do have a few other projects ahead of it right there. But definitely, go ahead and leave in the comments down below. All the comments and likes and all that stuff help out our videos and get it out to a wider audience, and I truly appreciate you helping me out with that. So, enough talking, let's get started. First up, we have the new Merkava Mark II from Takom. You can see it's a pretty thick box the way we've got it shown here. A couple different varieties of build you can do with decal variations. Let's take a look at the sprues inside. Okay, first up we have the turret. And that really sci-fi looking turret that is the Merkava. And then we have both the upper and lower hull. Bathtub style lower hull with all the detail molded into the side there. And then we have the lower portion of the turret as well as the bottom armor for the Merkava as well. That's a separate piece. And then, of course, some of the armor for up on the top of the turret as well there. Love the way these look right here. The springs for this are very, very nicely molded. And you can see quite a bit of that behind there, too, so they look really nice on that. Of course, you get a couple sprues of that. Here are the drive sprockets. Here is our wheel sprue. Some nice detail in there. And then the outer rubber is molded as a separate piece there as well. Here is 50 cal. You know how Israeli tanks are. They've got machine guns all over them. And lastly, we'll take a look at the tracks. So you've got long links of tracks right here, big long ones, and then the individual links right here. So those should go together pretty fast and pretty easy. And when it comes to the tracks too, I should also point out they have this guide for each one of the tracks, so you can build them up off the vehicle, let them dry, and then you can apply them to the vehicle afterwards, so you can do all your weathering and stuff before you actually attach them. We also have the barrel here. Now it is a 2-part barrel, but that is a really difficult thing, I believe, to try to mold that with all those pieces on it as a single slide molded barrel. And then a little example of what the ball and chain armor will look like for the rear of the turret. Looks pretty nice. We also have the barrel here. Now it is a two-part barrel, but that is a really difficult thing, I believe, to try to mold that with all those pieces on it as a single slide molded barrel. And then a little example of what the ball and chain armor will look like for the rear of the turret. Looks pretty nice. Next up, I want to show you guys a few new 72nd scale 1+1 kits. And what that basically means are there are two kits inside of here. So the first one we're going to look at is the FV 432 Mark II/1 with the Chieftain Mark V. So both kits in 72nd scale are inside here. Now, I did do a review a while ago on the Chieftain, so it's the same similar kit in there, but now it has the, it's basically the British version of like a 113, very, very similar to that. But what we're going to show you is when it comes inside is this kit right here. This is the Krupp Rammer, which is a mine vehicle, you know, anti-mine vehicle, as well as the VS KFC 617. And both of them are anti-mine vehicles. Now, a while ago, I built up the Krupp Rammer in 35th scale, big vehicle, and commented on some of the parts. Looked like it would be really, really cool to build some, you know, scratch building sci-fi stuff. Well, now we have it in the 72nd scale as well as the other little vehicle right here. And I'm going to take and show you the sprues that are inside this kit. And you tell me, does this not have like scratch building sci-fi written all over it? As well as, you know, cool vehicle to begin with. So let's look at the parts of this vehicle. First up, we have basically like the body of the Krupp Rammer. Now you do get two of these inside here because they're identical, either going forward or backward. And to me, at least, does this not look like this would be like the bridge or some other part of a scratch-built ship? Definitely so. And also, it's going to build up to be a cool 72nd scale because I'll show you in a second there how big the 35th scale one. So in 72nd, perfect size for it. We've got our wheels for the Krupp Rammer right here. And you get two sprues of this right here. This is the wheels for both sides, as well as the bottom chassis of the other parts. Just like that. These are the wheels for the other mine vehicle. And you can see like the natural sag that comes around here because these were giant plates that would roll and basically try to explode any type of ordnance that would come across. And then those are the plates for it. And everything comes in its own little bag. This is the body to that other vehicle. And a little itty bitty turret. Very, very tiny little guy. Looks like the... Yeah, it actually looks like the turret off of a Panzer I. So, man, a Panzer I is tiny in 72nd scale. And you also get a little bit of photo etch and then decals for doing all of that stuff. And these will be out, actually, they're coming out right now. And you get both kits, like I said, in the box. Almost forgot, I told you guys I was going to show you the Krupp Rammer in 35th scale that we built a few years back. And as you can see, here is that same piece of the vehicle in 72nd, and here's a little 35th scale dude just sitting up on top there to give you a little idea of scale. And next up, we're going to take a look at Takom's new 16th scale Panzer I-B. Now, many of you may remember we built up the Panzer I-A. Now, the main difference between the two is this B version is a stretched hull and has an extra road wheel and an extra drive or return roller, up on top there. In fact, when we were building this, and I commented in the instructions that the extra wheels were already in the pack, so you kind of knew that there was eventually going to be a B coming on it. So what we'll do is we're going to take a look at the sprues inside here, but basically the new sprues, and I'll show you those right now. So now we're going to take a look at the parts in this kit. And first of all, I laid our Panzer I-A next to the hull of the Panzer I-B. And lining it up, I would say, since the actual hull ends about here, so we're probably about almost 2 inches longer in this particular kit. And we'll briefly just go through the sprues. Let me slide this stuff out of the way here. This is the new sprue here. New fenders. and all these other parts that make up the B version. It's a very nice detail on that. And then, of course, we'll just go through some of the older parts. I went ahead and moved those pieces out there. I found them distracting when trying to look at the parts here. Nice, nice detail. Especially look at these road wheels. And Continental is stamped on each one of the rubber return rollers. And finally, this is also a brand new sprue too, I should point out. I guess the springs are slightly different, or something is different on this particular sprue. But this one is all new product as well right here. Now, I do have a video on building the A. I'm putting one of these aside. I'm going to try to get to it. I love building these 16 scale ones. They are so much fun to build. Oh, we should take a quick look at the tracks. Now, I'm going to show you the tracks, and I don't want you to get scared of them because of the individual. They are super simple to put together. This is how the track itself comes on the runner, the sprue. As you can see right here. Very nice detail on them. And then you also get a little sprue of the pins. And all you have to do is cut these out and slide these into place on there. So it's super simple to put together. And this is a set from the other one I built up and show you how they work. Just wonderful. I was a little nervous when I saw the big giant bag, but honestly, it took no time at all to put these together. And you also get the ability to actually have them work. So very, very nice feature. Well, I've got some exciting news to share with you guys. The company Das Werk is going to be producing a 1/72nd scale German U-boat from World War I, and they're going to be producing U-9. Now, U-9 is actually a pretty famous World War I sub. In fact, it's considered to be the sub that made basically the English as well as the world wake up and realize that submarines weren't just toys. They were actually a dangerous weapon to be used. And that is all because U-9 encountered a squadron of British Cressy-class armored cruisers and destroyed all three of them in the matter of an hour. And U-9 is actually is the first ship to take and reload torpedoes while they were submerged. Now, they only carried 6 torpedoes on the actual ship, and they were able to sink all 3 of those cruisers in a matter of an hour. Now, Das Werk spent a lot of time researching this ship to get it very, very accurate. And in fact, they even had a diver dive on one of the original subs, one of her sister ships. U-9 was broken apart after the war. She was surrendered. And they actually had someone dive on the ship and get actual measurements for some of the things on it. So they did a really, really nice job. I'm showing you right now some of the sprues that will be inside the kit. And it is hopefully, we're going to get a sample copy. Of course, we're going to build that up hopefully within the next month or two. And we're looking probably about a January release they're talking about for getting this out. Also, very exciting too is for the initial run of this kit, they are going to include a 100-page complete history of the ship. So it's like a complete history book inside the box, free with the kit itself. So we'll have more information as we find out about it, and of course we'll do the build-up as soon as we get one in. Also coming out from Das Werk is this tiny little cute guy. This is basically a Borgvard little tiny munitions tank with a 5cm Pak 38 mounted on it. And as you can see by some of the build-up shots on it, is quite an unusual little vehicle. Now, this is still kind of a what-if in the sense that they aren't really sure if it ever saw combat. According to the history that we have on it, there was quite a few of them ordered, but by the time production had started on this, the 5cm was kind of obsolete. So they produced 2 for sure, and it's still kind of skeptical whether or not they actually came into combat. But still an unusual looking vehicle and a nice little something different than the normal Panthers and Tigers we keep getting. And from what I understand too, this is probably due out the beginning of next year as well. And of course we'll build one of these up as soon as we get a sample of it. And the last thing I thought I would share with you guys is a company that's not necessarily new, but might be new to a lot of you guys out there. And that is Copper State Models. And we have just picked up the line of their airplanes and, as you can see, World War I armored cars as well. Now, Copper State, as you can see, is got the silhouette as well as the flag of Arizona. And my store is in Glendale, Arizona. But I actually had never heard of this company. And from what I understand, could be wrong about this, they started off here in Arizona and they were making like limited edition resin kits. And then it was sold out to someone in Latvia. And since then, they've started actually doing injection molded kits. So what I thought I would do is I would share with you the insides of one of these kits. We'll pick one of these, one of the new ports, and open it up and show you inside and show you what the quality is. It's really cool that they're doing stuff like this because honestly, Wingnut, when it was around, never did any French fighters like the Newports. And so now you have some really top-notch quality kits of Newports, plus World War I armored cars too. And we're going to open up one of these too and show you inside as well to take a look at it. Before we open up, I'm just going to show you the box art for each one of these kits. So the first one is a Sopwith Dolphin. See it shooting down a Fokker triplane in the background. We have our Newport 23. Let me get that glare out of there. This one has some shrink wrap on it. Cool looking World War I Newport. We have a Newport 17 Early. Both of those kits are in 32nd scale. And then finally a Newport 21 in Russian service. These are, like I said, in 32nd. The Dolphin was in 48 scale. And then one other crazy looking airplane here, the Caudron G4 late version. This is 48 scale, but this is a much larger airplane. So as you can see here, it's a good size. And also the World War I armored car. That's definitely a weird looking one right there. The Romfeld Panzerwagen, so obviously that's German. We have a Lanchester armored car, a British one. And then a Lanchester in Russian service. So let's open up these kits and take a look at them. First thing I want to show you guys is the instructions. And instructions are so important when they're done really well to help the modeler build these. And as you can see here, we've got color instructions. I know the picture's black and white, but inside you'll see that they're color instructions, very reminiscent of the way the Wingnut kits were put together. So very clear instructions showing you each one of the parts, how to do the rigging on it. These are some really high quality instructions here. Yeah, this would definitely make it a lot easier putting together when you have instructions of that quality. Now let's take a look at the decals that come in here. Lay those out. Actually, let them get a little bit closer too. Hopefully you can see the edge of the film, but they are very, very thin decals, so should go on really well. And you can see you get quite a few different markings for it as well. Now let's take a look at some of the sprues that are involved in this kit. I want you to see close up the detail on these. So we have the fuselage right here. Looks like the fuselage is broken up into multiple parts. You can see the sides here. Some of the ribbing for the inside there. And here we have the wing. So the lower wing is molded as one big giant piece. And then the top wings are up above there. Boy, that is a tiny wing for scale wise. Look how much bigger the top one is. That was a really small wing. Then we have another sprue here of different parts. There's lots of detail in these. Machine guns. Looks like the drums are up on top there. Wheels. Prop itself. You got the seat and the fuel tank. Yeah, so very nice looking. One other quick sprue we'll show you is the Lerone engine. They look pretty nice. I think this will build up to a nice little kit, and especially if you want to add it to your World War I collection to get some Newports in it. This would be a great way to do it. And as promised, we're going to take a look inside one of the 35th scale armored cars. Similar type of instructions, nice color, and nice detail in the assembly portion. Very, very nice. And I'm going to just take the sprues out and kind of show you there how the body comes together. Nice rivet detail. Looks like that's part of the transmission. We have all the little fiddly bits here, all the suspension pieces, parts for the steering, things like that. And finally, we'll take a look at the wheels that come in the kit. You can see they're spoked wheels with a rubber tire on there. And the way they've done it now is, so you've got the spokes already in here, and then there is a backer piece to go ahead and build up the back inside there to get a nice spoke pattern. So I think those will actually turn out pretty nice. So there's a quick look at Copper State models. Now they also have a really large line of resin figures for World War I, especially World War I 32nd scale figures to go around here. And we do plan on carrying those as well. So these are all available right now on our website, andyshhq.com, as well as in our store. Well, there you go, guys. There's a quick look at all of these products. All of these products are available on our website right now at andyshhq.com, as well as in our stores, except for the Das Werk stuff, because that stuff is actually coming out in the near future. But all of this stuff is available right now. So if you want to hop on the website and take a look at those, or come on down to the store if you live in the Arizona area, we'd appreciate it. So I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and please stay tuned because we have many more videos coming.